Alright boys, we're back again, and this is going to be, I was actually going to do the, what's this card called, the For the Win 3 Ultra 91st. The reason why I'm not doing it is because I kind of want to mount the Kingpin on this. Problem is that was going to be the last card I mounted onto this, so unmounting it will be an absolute pain, but I need to know if it fits, because the tubing goes up the top here, and I want to keep the OLED screen on, and there's kind of like no point if I have to throw a block on a card anyway. I wanted to use the 360 AIO with a 360 AIO. The whole like point was, it's like, well, this is the only case that I could get that I could run, you know, two 360 rads and I don't have to have a custom loop. So yeah, it's kind of disappointing. We'll figure out what I do. Like I said, I'm definitely not keeping this. The heat sink's pretty good for the smallest custom 3 slot cooler. It's really good. It moves heat. It's seriously like no bullshit. Like, the fans are good. The coil whine is quiet. Like, it's good. The lips are ugly. Probably have a googly eye somewhere for it, you know, the face. The only thing is that 500 watt XOC BIOS crap, and the issue, I don't know if you can override it with the 1000 watt BIOS, and then you still have voltage control. I mean, yeah, man, I don't know. It should have been a perfect card. Honestly, if it had voltage control, and it had, you know, the 500 watt BIOS working out of the box, and, you know, it did everything it was supposed to, and it cost as much as the Strix, I would have kept it for the EVGA warranty and stuff. It feels good. It's a nice card. I would have ignored the aesthetics, but I mean, come on, you messed that part up. The Strix is the best PCB card, but I'm gonna be honest, like, the fans are, that coil whine, I don't know if it's because of the backlit, man, that coil whine is like, it's bad. I know my testing yesterday was absolutely terrible, but you have to just take my word for it. When I was running on the test bench and stuff, like open air without, you know, interference of rad fans blowing on that, causing turbulence and air pushing this way and air pushing this way. Anyway, so I'm going to be putting the Kingpin onto this. My problem is the tubing will go here, so maybe I can pull it out and put the tubing straight up and then around here and mount the rad like this. I really hope that it works. Otherwise, I have to put the tubing like this and then route it. But the thing is, the tubing is too thick. Like, this new course uses like thinner tubing. That tubing is too thick for it to go through here, and I can't. This is already pushing the limit. You should be mounting 2 of these screws into this hole. So you shouldn't be having it like this. Look at all that play. It's not supposed to have all that play. The fact that rad's even mounted on there is, I'm already pushing it to increase this gap by a little bit. So yeah, this is a bit upsetting. I think the only other way I could do this thing is I would still need this gap. Like, I could get like a bracket extension thing, then yeah, my pause just now is because I had a Jimmy Neutron brain blast. I don't know why I didn't think of this. Dude, it would look ugly, man, but listen, all you need to do, because the AIO tubing is too thick on this side, all I need to do is have this rad mount, like the 3 fans mounted to the rad, and I can have the fans and intake over here, or I could have the fans pulling air through this, right? So it pulls the air, whatever, off this chassis, and it's blowing the heat out this way, and the other rad's doing the same thing. So the heat's going like completely away. It sucks whatever air is on this and then yeets it right off. But the thing is, I can get M3 or M4, whatever standoffs, right? And I can get a standoff that's 5, 10, 15, 25. This is a 25 millimeter fan. I could get a 20 or 15 millimeter standoff. So if I push this closer, there's still a gap of the fan, and that gives it enough tubing, and this can be mounted properly. But I can allow the AIO tubing to mount here properly, or I could have the tubing go around and then the rad like this over here. That's all I need to do. I just need standoffs, dude. Oh my god. Okay, so the wide angle lens, we can see a lot more. So now what I'm going to do is, so I need to get the other rad mount, and my brain, it is thinking if I have to do the same thing on the other side. Why am I out of long screws? No, I have, these are the long screws. I don't have enough long screws. Okay, I'm missing like 1 long screw, and I have no idea where in the world that would even be. Do I even have any spares? Of course I don't have any extra long screws anywhere. I have all the short screws on this earth, but I couldn't have 1 more long screw. Ridiculous, dude. There's whatever, dude. I'll just request for more screws. Okay, this is gonna be mounting the other AIO bracket. So it goes like this: the shorter end, then the longer end on top. Or is it the shorter end on top, the longer end on the bottom? Oh, that's like barely fitting on there. What the hell, dude? What's thing? It's like barely. What? Hold on. Okay, now this one fits, but this one's raised higher. I don't obviously want it raised higher. I want it to look cleaner. So let's try that again. See if this goes through. I mean, these holes are barely lining up, man. I'm pushing hard on it. Yeah, I am not happy with that tolerance. The holes aren't lining up, bro. It's not, and the case keeps sliding. I can probably get the screw hole in there, but that is not perfect. It needs to go a little bit further in. That's not good. No, that's not acceptable. All right, I'm still gonna mount this, but dude, that's not cool, bro. The thing is off. Hold on, let me use my handy dandy Rogue Strix ruler. It's off by like that much. You see that first little measurement point? It's off by that tiny bit. Ooh, I just had a feeling to sneeze, but I didn't sneeze. Oh my god, that hurt. Alright, so now what I have to do is I have to attach this onto this. Let me disconnect the fans. Alright, put this over here. Got the card. Now I gotta obviously unscrew the fans. See, now at this point I should be mounting those Noctua fans, but bro, I'll go get the Noctua fan. Apologize if you wanted to see an unboxing of the Noctua NFA12X25 fan. I did it without you guys, but I have two more, so I can open up those other two as well. I mean, it's just a fan, you know, it doesn't do anything special. They do got some weight to it, if I had to be honest with you. I really wish they had a 3x1 splitter, because that would have resolved some of the issues that I'm having. I don't need the extension cable, but I do like that it comes with these little rubber grommets. It's not going to work with what I'm doing scenario, but oh jeez. Put this like this. I'm gonna put it back in the box. I always mess this part up because they throw this you know, this little manual piece of paper in there. Makes it a little bit difficult to back in the box, but box is like really heavy duty, man. Fan crazy. You know, like this is something you probably didn't know, right? Look at that. They really care. Anyway, I mean, besides the color being ugly, dude, you know, because it's brown, you know, cream. They're actually cream, you know, it's just the band blade is brown. Fans are really good. They got weight to them, man. They got like some serious weight to them too. The Corsair ML fans, I used to pay like the same price for those. Those are booty. I thought they were good compared to the fans I had. Nah, dude. I'm not going back to those RGB fans ever again. I tried. I'm good. People who think they're good, I mean, you can live in your Peter Pan world of self-delusion, but I am not going back to that. And then this is the last one. Same thing. Noctua fan. Taking this out. This goes here. I really need to get rid of a lot of stuff, man. It takes such a mess everywhere. We got this card here, we got a riser over there, we got a trackball. I'm not sure what's visible on this camera right now at this moment. We got this monitor, we got this one. Got another monitor coming, so you gotta clean everything up and properly organize everything. But we're getting there, so that's all that matters. Goes back in this box. I'll just use the screws at this, whatever is ready, because they don't give you long screws for the Noctua fans. I don't think it comes with long screws. Just open it, whatever. There you go. I'm pretty sure that the Corsair AIO gives me like another set of long screws. The Noctuas only come with these short screws. Yeah, you can see that. So, yeah. I mean, I do like the accessories, but the Chromax ones don't come with any accessories. They just charge you more. They know you want the black fan. Ridiculous, whatever. These fans are like ridiculously silent. Like, it is insane how silent they are compared to, I don't know, just everything else. I mean, would I tell somebody like, Jesus, how tight did the guy put this in? Dude, what do you use? Freaking power drill? Who the hell tightened these? Nah, dude. Okay, no. I'm gonna go get a real. The reason why I don't use the electric one is because I'm scared I'm gonna break the motor or something. Holy shit. Whoever did this, I didn't even put the lights on. Can't see anything. Wow, the world's better. Completely forgot it. That one's loose. It's just the initial twist. I don't want it done with the motor. Like, you see that hard twist I have to do? I have to involve the whole wrist. You see that? I don't want to put too much strain on the electric one because it's a little manual mode, lock mode thing. If you put too much pressure on it, it can't handle it. It like twists it again, like on its lock. Like, you'll be like, see that? Like, I've had it go over one time, so I didn't want to risk it. Alright, so that's done. So the top of these are rounded and the top of my other ones are flat. So to be honest with you, I'm probably just gonna go get the screws that came with my Corsair AIO because I can't have a clearance interference issue. Oh, I didn't see. Look at that. This one I didn't do apparently. I just missed. Full wrist action required. Or the rest are good. But yeah, I will get my own Corsair. If the heater's loud, I apologize. It is cold. I can pause. Alright, we're back. I got the screws for my 360 AIO for my Corsair rod. Has the, you know, just the washer, and then if you see it flat. So yeah. So we're gonna be screwing in the Noctua fans. The EVGA fans feel really light and they're cheap. I mean, the static pressure is good, but you know, I thought the fins were good on the rad. Whoever did this is a monkey. Most rad fins come bent, bro. I mean, I'm gonna be whoever did this is a monkey. I mean, you're never probably gonna see this end of the rad, but yeah, dude. I can show it. You know, on this end it looked pretty clean. That's visible. Ching. And then now we look at this end. If it's showing up on camera, alright, forget it. We're just gonna move. Okay, now look, bent, clean, bent. Look at it. Look how bent it is over there. Doesn't really matter. It's not gonna really make a big deal in terms of the fins, performance, whatever, all that crap. It came like that, dude. I didn't bend that end. That's the end with the fans. There's no way I could have done that because I haven't even recorded myself doing that. So yeah, that's the rad. Moving this a little bit over here so we got proper angle for everything. Good. Okay, so the rad fins, I'm pretty sure went on this end, and tubing went like this. So I need to figure out how to mount the fans and the tubing. So fans are like this, and I'm having it intake air off the rads from the outside and blowing it onto my components. So we're gonna do the same thing like I said I was gonna do in that other video. So if the rad is mounted this way, I want the wires to go to the GPU this way. So I want the tubing this way, and I want the fans coming this way. Okay, so like this, like this, like this. Okay. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay. Now let's just make sure these holes are lined up, and then is this caught on something? No, right? And then we want to mount this, and we want to make sure this is mounted properly. Big end on the bottom. Oh jeez, what was that noise? It's really only gonna mount like one of the holes, but whatever. I'm gonna have to contact the guy, bro. That's unacceptable. Alright, look, it mounts perfectly fine on this end, but on this end it's not like perfectly lining up. And I know my spacers and my other shit is proper, dude. Like this is proper on this end. There's no way, because for this to be in proper alignment, the spine has to be like, you know, perfectly symmetrical. The gapping is no. So I don't know. Probably gonna have to contact him. That the tolerance is off by just a little bit, and that's not cool. This because if you don't buy it with the case, is $73 on eBay, and he charges you like $30 for this, and it's like $28 for shipping. I'm not, no. So no, that's not my problem. No, I don't care what the price is, but dude, no. I'm probably gonna ask for another number 2 screw. I'll probably ask for a few of them, and then the cables, the custom cables work. I know there was something else I was upset about. Number 2 screws, and then if I can get a USB 3.0 hub thing, and then because that's only $10, and then I'm pretty sure I said something else. Screws, that AIO mount thing, that's not acceptable. And then trying to think what else, man. Screws, AIO mount thing. Forget it. I don't remember. Let's just get this done. Fell right through. That's funny. Okay, all of those are pretty much where they're supposed to be. Now let's throw them in. Beautiful. 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 Monkey! Okay, hold up. I messed up. I put all the screws in, I forgot to mount the mount, like the actual mount, the whole purpose we are literally here for. Oh, thank God, dude. That would have been painful. Okay, come on. Yeah, but I haven't seen any of the ITX case that can do 2 360 rads, so that's the superpower for this case. Like a T1 is 9.48 liters, but most people are never going to need more than a 240mm AIO for a CPU. And, oh dude, no, this is the tolerance, like this is already warping or some shit, dude. Nah, there's definitely something up with this one, because my other one didn't do that. The hell is this? The is it play? No, there's definitely something wrong with this one. I'll still mount it, like I said, with like one of the grips versus 2 of them. I'm gonna see if I can force it flatten out with the screws. But the other one didn't do this shit, no. And I didn't, you know, do something to it overnight. It just, I recorded the videos with you or whatever on the other desk. Like there was no pressure, not like I sat on it. So yeah, it is what it is, right? Doing my gripping? Oh dude, I'm not even, okay, panic. Okay. Gripping. Panic began to ensue when there was no gripping. Okay. Ooh, that hurt. That scraped some skin. Shit. Alright. Come on, man. Just. Okay, good. Yeah, I literally have to like push it down for it to go in. See that? It's definitely something up. I didn't have to do that on the other one. I didn't have to put force to make it just flatten out. See that? Look at it. Is this even? Wow, I had the manual tighten that one. Okay. Okay, I am going to hand tighten now. Oh, this one then? Is that a mark? No. Okay, so that one's tight. That one's tight. Is it still moving? Yeah, tight. This one's still moving. Tight, 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 tight. Oh, this one's a loose, bro. This one is loose. Why am I still moving? What the heck? Oh, my glasses fell. My glasses. Dude, it should not be moving this much. Dude, oh my god. Everything is in. Why is the screw not working? That makes no sense. This one, okay, that one's tight, yeah. That one's tight. Oh my. Bro, what monkey? Where's the flashlight? Too bright, you can't see. Nah, dude, I'm not screwing into like some like radiator fan. The fan is lined up perfectly. How could 3 of the 4 holes going in and one's off? No. Dude, oh my god, dude. Stop wasting people's time. What absolute garbage. Hold on, we'll try without. Okay, and now it fits perfectly. Okay, whatever, dude. We're just try it one more time. I have no idea how that even worked. Alright. We're gonna try unscrewing it a bit. Now screw it in. And it doesn't. Oh my god. Okay. Nah, dude, you're gonna tighten. We'll be back after an intermission. Heater's on, I know, but I did it. I used the force of the gods and I pushed down and I screwed in with the manual screwdriver. Ridiculous. Alright, so now I have to mount the rad and obviously I have to mount the GPU. Let's clean this little puppy off a little bit. And let's take this here. Now I'm gonna connect the 3 fans, obviously. I wonder if I should do it from this one all the way here, then down like this. I guess. Alright. 1, 2, 3. I really wish there was manual pump control on this because that's probably the only thing that's stupid. You don't need the pump running at 100% all the time, dude. It could be 50% on a 360 rad. I mean, come on. Like, is it really that difficult? Like, you couldn't add pump control on a $2,000 GPU? Like, you ruined my whole setup here. I'm thinking about building a custom loop just to have pump control. Ridiculous, dude. And then I can't build a custom loop because I lose the OLED screen. I don't want to lose the OLED screen, man. Alright, so if I mount the rad, this is gonna be tricky. The dust, man. So I have to figure out how to mount this GPU. I will do it. I've got the power connectors connected. Now I have to mount the GPU and then the rad. Alright, boys and girls. Wow, the camera was off. I have a major discovery to report. I have successfully mounted the Kingpin onto the XTIA. I have a dual 360 AIO ratted GPU, you know, PC thing. And basically, I was worried this tubing would interfere here, but there actually is enough play. Look, I can move the tubings, and if I show you, there actually is enough space. I didn't think this was possible, but look, I am not capping. I repeat, there is no cap. There is no cap. Look, see that? There's not pressure. I swear. It looks like there is, but I swear, dude. Anyway. 360 AIO for the CPU and all that. CPU side, power supply, all that, you know what I'm saying? RAM, all that. And then we go to the other side. 360 AIO for the Kingpin. I routed the wires for the fans and stuff along the top of the edges over here in the back. Right here. These are the fan wires that come with the Kingpin. I had to move the riser a little bit so you can actually stick cables in here. Otherwise it would interfere. Now this is the only ghetto jank thing I've done. Let's see if I can zoom in and show this. If you zoom in here, notice I only have one of the riser screws plugged in. Oh, if I zoom out a little bit, you can see that only one of them are plugged in. Now the reason why only one of them are plugged in is because I can't do that enough space for the IO gap, whatever, the IO inputs, like, you know, the video inputs. So what I had to do is I had to put another standoff from the case. Is this? Yeah, it's rigid, it's fine. So I had to put another standoff from the case into this behind this riser. So basically, if that's visible, you'll see, oh, okay, got a good angle. You'll see 2 standoffs, the big one and the little one. The big one on this end can't reach. But to get that extra like 5 millimeters of clearance on here, or if I just got a longer screw, I could do it. But if I do a standoff, then it has a support. So if the case came with an extra standoff, I could have that just, I just needed a little bit of a buffer. That's it. If I can get that buffer, remember that OLED screen on the back, I can't use it. I just need like a 5 millimeter buffer. And like, it's the XTIA X Proto L. So instead of mounting it over here, I can just mount it over to this edge. So I can just move it down like a row, if you will. And then that's it, dude. It works. Hold on. Yeah, I was thinking about if I mounted the riser over here, just move the back of the row, this would still mount fine because it just clamps onto the bottom half, but I won't be able to make that connection with the riser because I can't mount the riser. Oh, I can just, yeah, I still can't connect the riser anyway. If I can get the 5 millimeter standoff or something, right? But if I just move it down a row and leave a gap here, then I have enough clearance tubing. Oh, and the wires. Okay, one sec. All right, so when you're recording on the phone app, apparently if you open up another app, it doesn't save the clip. It just wipes 30 minutes of recording. Like an idiot. So, hey man, most of you probably didn't give a shit about that part anyway. So look, here's a Kingpin on an XTIA, and here's a dual 360 rad ITX case. So fortunately my mic gets in the way, so I'm gonna have to think of something. Move this back here and just move this along here. I raised the desk a bit, but yeah, long story short, I was able to mount the Kingpin on here. This is the build I wanted. I mean, there's nothing you're gonna get better than this. Yeah, I have a Gen 3 riser, so I have no issues with a 10900K. I'll probably overclock it as high as I can go. I'll delit it, direct eye, who knows? Who cares really? You guys already know my opinion regarding the Gen 4 riser bullshit issues I had. I don't care. I'm not gonna do something that I won't recommend to somebody. And with the amount of pain I went through, I mean, look, there's gonna be one of you who had the same issues, and it was a lot of pain. And I'm not gonna recommend that shit. I'm not recommending that. No. There's a reason why Wahaha said, hey, you want the T1 V2? You want the shorter? You want the smaller size? Yeah, use a riser. Bring your own riser. And then if you wanna use the bigger, dual rad configuration, then, use the bigger configuration without a riser. But bring your own riser. Yeah. So a lot of people don't really understand how bad the riser situation is. I'm not gonna say I knew like 2 months ago because I got a 5950X and I went through it with the BIOS crap. I'm pretty sure people are fed up with me saying the same thing multiple times, and some dude's gonna be like, oh, I don't have those issues, man. Oh no, dude, that's just you, dude. You're just retarded. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm retarded. Anyway, so here's a 360 rad, and here's my USB hub, and I have, the little wireless keyboard, wireless mouse, Xbox adapter on here. But you have the RAM, you have the Corsair cables, SF750. I will be upgrading this to an SF850, or I'll buy that Titan one from China. The only thing I've heard is there's coil whine, and if that power supply popped, then I lose everything. I'd rather not compromise something. Like I have a Corsair AIO, why? If it leaks, then it's Corsair's fault. If the Kingpin AIO leaks, it's EVGA's fault. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I do that, The motherboard I bought a warranty for. Actually, I don't have a warranty because I got this from Micro Center. I ordered off Amazon, but Amazon took too long, man. They really took too long. I didn't want to do this Ryzen shit anymore. So basically, yeah, this is the case. CNC aluminum. You got 6 NFA12 X25 fans, side by side. They are intaking through the radiator. I understand that this radiator is not the same as this radiator. If I purchase a Kraken Z6073, that radiator is the Asetek rounded design on the edges. Corsair does this like rectangular block design. So if I get that, I get the little TV screen with the CPU, GPU temperatures on there. And this radiator will match this radiator from a side angle. So that's really like unnecessary of a purchase because this is a 360 rad that probably performs exactly the same, but on my bite, it would make this like perfect. The IO looks like you can't access it, but once you plug everything in, it's fine. I'll turn it around. So the GPU real quick, CPU rad, GPU, remember intaking. This just blows, like sucks in air from here and then blows. My phone kind of froze. Sucks in air from here and then blows in like every direction, and then there is ventilation up top. I had to move it over one PCIe slot. I came to that conclusion while I was recording this, luckily, and it cut out all of that. But if you can see, I tried to put like another layer of standoffs. I put another set of standoffs and on top of this. Now you can see the riser is actually not connected. If I order longer standoffs, maybe like another set of a 5mm, I can get these to connect and I can mount the riser. But if you look at the holes, they perfectly line up with where the riser is supposed to screw. I don't know if that's perfectly visible to Golden, and it would screw in fine. I just need an additional standoff. But right now is being supported and held by this platform over here on top, and it holds there. And then over here, this screws into the GPU PCIe slot and holds onto via these three right here. And then when it was too close to this edge, I had difficulty accessing the video ports, if you will, the output signal ports. But now I have no issues. You would have that issue on the X Proto, so I'm really glad I got the X Proto L. Besides the fact that I can mount two 360 grads, I didn't have to do a custom loop. You know what I mean? I saved money. The people who build custom loops are probably laughing like, you know, idiot. But hey man, I mean, it makes it a lot easier, because otherwise I have to put in a little bit more work when I'm hopping around different configurations, different cases, different parts. If I'm going to build a custom loop, that's me practically marrying that case. So that would make it a bit difficult for me to go to another case, because I'm, you know, basically married to it. So unless I had, you know, proper tubings, like nice lengths, and I was just like, oh, okay, throw that right there, fill it up real quick. I don't have all that gear yet. I don't have the money for that gear. I guess it's just not a priority, to be honest. If I cared that much, it would be a priority, but I don't care, so it's not a priority. So once again, I'll show the I/O. Now it looks like the tubing gets in the way, but once you plug in the cables, it'll be perfectly fine. So we're gonna do the same thing now. This is endgame. You're not gonna beat this. You're not gonna beat this. And like I said, once again, why the 5950X is not on here? I'm not replacing this riser. I'm not doing that garbage. When there's actually a need for Gen 4 and it doesn't perform worse. And look, I don't have USB mic issues. I haven't had USB mic issues on Intel I had a 6700K, 8700 non-K, 6850K, 8700K, 9900K. Never had USB issues with the same USB hub, same mic, Blue Yeti, nothing. So no. 3950X, E550. I mean, when they want to, AMD wants to fix their bugs, I mean, yeah, sure. But the amount of ridiculous amounts of hype of people going around going, oh, Ryzen's the best, oh, if it works, oh, it's the best. Yeah, if it works, dude. Nah, man. A lot of reason why people never even go PCs, because they don't want to do this troubleshooting, and, you know, everybody keeps coming up with their own little theory on like how to fix this. Oh, you know, the voltage has to be this or whatever. I don't care. I don't care. Like I said, this if I want to play around, that will be a play around system, and I said that will go on a test bench. And then remember, no riser cable for that one, because I'm not buying these expensive riser cables or dealing with this bullshit anymore. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm just trying to figure out how to position these HDMI cable and DisplayPort cable. The AIO tubing's there. If it puts pressure on it, don't know how I want to do it. But I'm really glad I was able to do it without putting pressure on the tubing of the Kingpin on the front. I can't access the TV screen, that sucks, but there is play. Is that visible? Yeah, you see that play? So I would ideally want that not to be moving. So I need to order the standoff little 5mm extension. Hold on, I have one. If I could still screw in one properly, that's still better than nothing. Would this work? No. Dude, 1 sec. Alright, so the case actually does come with another additional 5mm. So I'm using extension and extension. And that extension, probably not even going to be visible. Like, yeah, that's a good angle. Yeah, so you're only supposed to put one for the riser, and I added another one, and then I added this little half thing in there, and it's able to connect. So if I had an additional half over here up top, I could put that, but I don't. But I mean, at least one is better than nothing, so I'll add that. But if they included one more, I wouldn't even have to buy anything to do this. So that's pretty impressive. So let's connect this and at least screw in the riser. I don't know if the bottom position is better than the top, but it was easier screwing. But look, dude, see, look, now it's in, if anybody was really that concerned. It's held by this, it's held by this, and this now. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It is a CNC'd aluminum case. It is nice. It feels as nice as this. It feels as nice. This matches the Founders. Yeah, I'm going to plug in the power, and we're going to boot this. But yeah, give me 2 seconds. Okay, so I haven't posted the computer yet, but I'm doing the measurement, and it is 28 inches, the microphone, 28 inches. from the GPU, and I'm gonna post the computer now. I mean, it should work. So power turning on. I can sort of see the little OLED screen over here in the corner. The only thing that sucks about this is the pump is always running on max unless I open this up and then I connect that to like a motherboard fan header, and then I can control the pump. But to be honest with you, like, that's still easier than a custom loop. EVGA makes their cards really easy to take apart. The Strix does like this weird funky shit with their like aluminum frame. I don't really want to mess with that, but I mean, it is what it is, right? So turn on the TV, turn on this monitor. Saying update failed, but my Wi-Fi should connect. Keyboard, mouse, I mean, there's nothing special to this. Yeah, we'll get this started. Move this over here. And it full screens on the other. It's nothing special. My friend sent me that article with the 100,000 RTX 3080 GPUs that was found, 3070, 3080, 90s in that lost shipping container. I was closing up the curtains, but obviously fake news. So right now what you hear, that is just the pump noise that is always running at all the time. So it's just like a mini fridge. Now if I could run this pump at a lower RPM, like 50, like that'd be great. So I am going to have to open it up and do that. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'll stop looking at other tabs. I'll run the benchmark. So 3D mark, where's hardware info? 64. I'll pull this up on my other screen. I don't want it full screen. I don't need you to take up that much space. I just want to have it open while I'm doing these tests. Now I am going to be running the Kingpin stock. And I obviously did buy a 1200 watt power supply for the Kingpin, which is the ATX power supply, which can be mounted on this case. That is not currently mounted. That would be, I know it's going to be ugly, but I would probably just hook up the GPU just to like a single power supply, you know. I'm not sure how much it can pull on its own without the 1000 watt BIOS, but yeah. That is the heater, so I will turn that off. Alright, so EVGA Precision X is loaded up. I did launch IQ, but it didn't load. Okay, one second. So I actually do have the fans on balanced. Everything was on balanced. I'll set, I should name these profiles. One second. I'm not sure what enabling limited software control does on these AIOs. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Limited software control. I'll disable it. I really don't understand what that means. I'll have to look it up. But performance setting, I wanted all of these to be on extreme. So I don't know why it keeps not saving my settings. And then default, I want it to be balanced. So I'm going to label that balance. All right. And then when I go to performance, all of these should be balanced. Yeah, that's what I want. And then profile 3, I want to be my custom, which is quiet for the fans and the pump quiet. We'll just label this quiet profile now. Quiet. And then my custom profile will be custom. So fans on pump on quiet, fans on balanced. And yeah. But right now I want it to boot at performance and just be on performance. Okay, yeah, I can hear the pump. I can hear the fans. I set it to extreme, but these numbers... Okay, now it took a little while. It updated though, it's moving. Yeah, the coolant temperature on the Corsair AIO is like 29, or it's dropping now. I'm wondering if I should run it like the Kingpin with the AIO on quiet for my CPU, so then all you hear is just the GPU. Otherwise this is just introducing like extra noise. It doesn't really matter if my CPU gets really hot, it won't throttle Intel, you know, it doesn't really matter. Because, yeah, because you can already hear like sort of like noise. I'm still wondering now if it's a good idea to blow air. Nah, it's better to blow air onto the motherboard VRMs and the RAM and stuff, because otherwise if it's taking the fans off, yeah, it would be quieter because the fans would just be sucking air off and then blowing it straight off the rad and stuff. It would be quieter because there's no interference here. But I'll run the test with the quiet profile. Quiet for pump. Trying to think. We'll do quiet. We'll run pump on quiet and fans on quiet, and we'll see how high the CPU temperatures get, but I want to focus on the GPU. That was the point of the video. Anyway, that should be fine. So we go to dashboard, add the AIO. If you try to add, I don't know if I showed this, but if you try to add the Corsair, like a 5950X to the Corsair IQ, all the cores are broken as shit. It doesn't show up properly. You're a beta tester for the best CPU supposedly. After it's fixed, it's the best CPU. Obviously, it's better than Intel. I'm not retarded, but I don't care like that. I wasted money. I'm gonna keep this. If Rocket League has issues, I don't care. I'm keeping this. Anything else from now on, this is my stable. If I want to run something in the background while I'm working on another computer, this is my stable computer. There's no point in having all these monitors and all this desktop gear, and it's like I don't even have a stable desktop. What an idiot. So no, I'm never doing that again. Yeah, so fans are running at like 400, 500 RPM on this, the AIO, and the coolant temp is like 27.5. It's Intel, so it can actually, transfer heat properly from the CPU to the IHS and then to the, the copper cold plate. So my idle temperatures, even though it's locked at 5 gigahertz on 10 cores, is, let's see. Oh, yeah, idle temperature is like 36 degrees Celsius. Oh, now it's 37. Yeah, that's insane, right? Yeah, Ryzen's heat density makes it idle so hot. Oh, or you have Epic Games Launcher running, or some launcher. Oh, we have a bug with Google Chrome today. Now the counter joke you can make is Intel has another security vulnerability and another security vulnerability and another one that has to be patched. So that's the other joke you can make. So yeah. Anyway, I'll move this over to this monitor as well now. And move this down a little bit, and a little bit more. Alright, perfect. And then this is the Kingpin software. Hopefully that is visible on the screen. And you can see GeForce RTX 3090 Kingpin Hybrid. Obviously, there's no other card. There is a software that allows you to edit the GPU, like how this Precision X recognizes your GPU. Like you can trick it, so you can make it think it's another card in there. Not sure what the application would be because I don't need it, but if I did need it, I'm just saying the software does exist. It's like on GitHub or something. Memory's stock, GPU is all stock, GPU temperature is 27 degrees Celsius. The reason why I did this build is because I won't have any issues with this. I don't have to touch anything on this ever. Until there's a new GPU, think about it, I never have to touch this thing again. Taking out the power supply and replacing it, or like just hooking up a GPU just for the, oh my god, the power supply just for the GPU. If I were to go that hard, but yeah, GPU is like 35 watts right now. It's on the LN2 BIOS. Obviously, I'm not doing LN2, but it is the 520 watt BIOS. So there's, I believe, I don't want to say 450, then 480, and then 520, but I think, okay, so stock is probably what the 3090 FE is limited to, so I think it's like a 400 watt BIOS, but like with max voltage can push like 420. Then the OC BIOS is probably the same thing as the For the Win 3 Ultra, which is like 480 watts, or 450, something like that, man. It's either 450 or 480, something like that. And then the 520 watt BIOS is the 520. If you don't want it to pull 520, just reduce the power target, slide it. Why am I gonna hop around the BIOSes? Like, there's no point. So what you would actually do is you would have the stock BIOS be stock. You'd have the overclock BIOS be the For the Win 3 Ultra's overclock like 480, and then your LN2 BIOS would be the 1000 watt BIOS. That's kind of the point. But yeah, it comes with the 520, and if you're never gonna touch anything and you want to never do any shunt modding or anything, I mean, dude, this is $18.99 after an EVGA associate code. Dude, I mean, the strikes I showed yesterday is $17.99. I understand I was a retard the way it was positioned. I get it. But, like, you probably understand today why the fans were oriented in that way, for this. The card I care about. And you can see the Celsius. Dude, just GPU's 27C. Freaking CPU is like, hold on. I think the lowest, where is it? 37C. Yeah, same thing I said. So, anyway, we'll get started with the test. These are the ICX sensors. 32, 27 GPU die. MEM power is 34. Power 34. Power 3 is 37C. MEM 3 30C. So, yeah, it's cool. The voltage control works on this card. Dude, you're getting a 360 AIO attached, to a card that has a higher power limit than a Strix, and you don't have to do anything for $100 more. Like, why would I not? I understand the pump noise is loud, but to be honest with you, after all the Zen issues and shit I had, I don't even care about the pump noise. I'm just grateful it's stable and works. I don't even care. So I'm going to move this over now. I don't know if this is visible on the TV. It's not. I would have to cover up my other hardware info. No. Oh, look, I have no idea if somebody can actually zoom in that far. If you have like super eyes, it is being recorded at 4K, but I guess you can see the clock and all that, right? I'll move it over a little bit. How does that look? Move it over a little bit more.
Yeah, it's fine, man. It's fine. I'll still read you the numbers. Don't get like antsy that I won't. 1 second. That's just covering my core ratio. I don't care. I already know what the core ratio stuff is. So I'm gonna leave GPU clock, voltage, and the GPU temperature, and then power target is stock. You can't see that, but anyway, I'll run time spy, and we'll see what numbers I get. But yeah, when I ran those numbers with the 5950X in the original Kingpin video, dude, I felt like such a retard, man. Because you have to spend so much time tuning Zen. And it's just, I think the latest conclusion as of December 30th is today, right? Is you will run it with the highest fabric that you can push, but the lowest clocks. So my friend who has 3200 megahertz CL14 was like, dude, you should have just bought this RAM, it works. And I'm like, nope, because there was leaks and stuff you could see from the slides that say that you can do 4000 megahertz, and then I wanted 2000 F clock, but I'm gonna have to wait for that. I have no issues with 4000 megahertz on the Intel system, and I haven't tuned the memory. I mean, like I said, Game Boost by MSI. My cache ratio is even at 4.3 gigahertz. Anybody who tunes Intel knows, you want to keep that like around 300 megahertz to your all core. If my all core is 5 gigahertz on 10 cores right now, then I would want my cache ratio to be like I don't know, 4.7. And if it can do that, great, do 4.8, like, so I know the audio is playing this time. It's because I have the TV on, so the speaker's on there. If you don't like it, I'll turn it off. The whole point is to listen to that, right? But I'll just do another run without the audio. If you think the run with the audio is shit, just fast forward. Doesn't really matter. You're here for the numbers. But yeah, as you can see, voltage is like 1100. The power it's pulling is like 262, 295. My GPU temperature is like 46 degrees Celsius. And the fans are on auto. I haven't touched anything on the GPU. It's a auto fan profile. The only thing I edited was the CPU to quiet. Corsair's quiet profile for AIOs. On Corsair Link, I could tell you what the curve is, but on IQ, I don't believe they display or show you that information. That I can't tell you. I can set a custom curve, but I don't see it. So GPU clock, you can probably see it's hitting like 2 gigahertz on its own, not doing anything, stock. But yeah. But as of right now, like if I had to have a PC on my desk, yeah, this probably doesn't look as good as like the T1 I had or whatever you're gonna be doing. But for something on your desk, like now I understand why people have custom loops. If you don't want to build a custom loop, like you're too scared, but you're willing to pay more money because you're too scared, just do this build, Throw a 360 AIO on your, what's that thing called? 5950X or 5900. There's actually no point buying a 5950X unless you want 2 bin CCDs. You can go buy a 5800X. Yeah, it runs hot as shit, but it is the best, the best single binned CCD. It can do higher F clocks. My friend was hitting, dude, my friend has a 480 millimeter radiator and it's 84 millimeters thick. This is a 360 millimeter rad, 30 millimeters, probably 27 millimeters thick. I'll have to look it up. And you know what I mean? Like, that's insane. And he had that just for the CPU, and he's like, it's still getting hot. The heat density, because it's 7 nanometer, it's like, it's like a smaller like die. And when it's moving the heat to the IHS, it just doesn't move the heat fast enough. That's the reason why people direct die like on their Intel systems and all that, because it just moves the heat so much faster. So yeah. I could probably do a better job with the wire management over there. I will eventually, but there's not much you can do for AIO tubes. The best I can do is like those 90 degree, and then I'll get like a nice custom like power cable. But yeah, it's pretty good. You can't really see the TV screen. I'll try to show it later on, but I can see the screen a little bit. It's like right next to the fans, and I can see the RPM. It says the GPU fans RPM is like 1300. The NVVDD is like 1.1, 1.5. So yeah, it's the same thing right there. Power is 420 watts, 406, 408. And then it shows the EVGA. It's just a stock little cycling TV screen stuff. So it says boom, EVGA, and then Kingpin, and it shows it like it's like some Cinemax, IMAX movie. And now it's showing GPU die temperature again, 48, 47. It was like 51. It's dropping, 46. GPU fans are at 1300 RPM, 1200. Now this is the CPU portion, so my CPU should be hot. Yeah, CPU is at like 81 degrees Celsius. It spiked 90, 87. Remember, I'm running it on quiet because we're trying to focus on the GPU in the test. Nobody really cares about me mounting it onto this thing, but yeah. So the CPU score is 14,329, which is, you know, about that 14.5. Graphics score is 20,665, and my time score was 19,379. Remember, this is a dirty Windows install. I had a 9900K, I had a 3950X, I had a 5950X, and I have a 10900K on this. I have had multiple failed RAM overclocks. I don't know if it's corrupted the Windows. I have no idea. I've went from Windows LTSB, Windows 10 LTSB, to Windows 10 LTSC, to Windows 10 Enterprise. And I have never clean installed. I've just been, you know, converting it each time. So this is a realistic scenario of, you know, and I have IQ running in the background. I didn't set anything to, you know, priority. It's on the, before I said it, let me just check my power plan. The power plan is on ultimate performance. So, you know, I'm cheating there on my CPU. I should set that to balanced, okay? Actually, you know what, now I can't do that because all of the tests were performed on that power plant ultimate performance. So we're gonna have to do all the GPUs with that. There will be no inconsistencies if I do it all within a week. Driver's the same, everything's the same. Nobody really cares, but at least I'll have one solid run. I can say I did everything consistently wrong, or consistent at least in one way, so then I can compare all of them. But I mean, there's nothing to compare. This is the best card done. I'm not spending $180 on a Strix water block and then building my own loop because the pump is quieter. I'll just open it up and then make that pump. I'll just get a cable that connects to my motherboard. I can control the pump like that. I'm not, no way am I doing all that. Unless I want to, which is different. And there's a new case coming out, and I want to put this on a block because I want to do that. See, that's different. But for this right now, no. I'll probably need like a few months of not being fed up, and I just want to like play games. I miss Christmas, bro. Like, I spent so much time tweaking. So yeah, at least if this stuff came out like in the summer, and then the games came out like 3 months later, I would have had time to tweak all the stuff and everything was good. But yeah, as you can see, average score is 18,918. This was like 400, around 400 points more. Yeah, it was like 460. We'll go with that. And yeah, okay. Well, let me just run through the temperatures like I did last time. So GPU temperature started 30C, 40, 42, 43, 54, 52, 52. Oh yeah, it got so hot, guys. It got so hot. Remember, it's winter time, so if I was having issues, you know, wait till the summer comes and the delta raises like 10 or 15 degrees, probably 10 degrees Celsius at least. That's what I usually have. So I have to lower an overclock because of that. Okay, so CPU temperature, like 45, 50, 67 peaked, 50, 65, and then towards the end, that CPU portion of the test, it was like 81, 82, and then it peaked to 89, and then that was how it finished it. But if I was running this on the profile I wanted to, that wouldn't be really an issue. That is the heater. That is not the computer. But the CPU clock frequency is 5 gigahertz throughout the whole test, regardless of that temperature. The GPU clock was 2025, 2010, 2010, 2010, 2010, 2010, 2010. I mean, it dipped in a portion, which it's like probably in between a test loading another test, which, yeah. And then obviously it idled. 1980, 2010, 2010, 1995, 2025, 1980, dipped 1965, 2010, 1980, 1980. So, yeah, it's doing worlds better. At stock, it holds 2 gigahertz, and I have a huge amount of headroom. I don't know what to say. I can still grip this by the handles and move it. Maybe people think it's ugly, but it's a lot easier to move this around than those freaking Thermaltake P1, P5s. Not even a P1. Screw the P1. P1 can't even mount two 360 rads. You name me another case that's this small, I can mount two 360 rads. One second, let me turn the heater off. Yeah, so Thermaltake P5, P7, like these, the P90, like the P90X or whatever it's called. These cases are massive. I don't need an ATX motherboard. I don't need all that crap. I mean, yeah, I probably can mount like a 200 millimeter in length power supply, right? That's probably the only con. But I mean, if somebody can make an SFXL that's 1200 watts or something, you know, or if I could get a hundred, like I said, I have a 120 millimeter. My bad. No. I have a 180 millimeter Silverstone 1200 watt ATX power supply that can be mounted onto this. I didn't mount it because I figured end game I'm probably gonna have it with the Corsair power supply anyway on it. I was running that Ryzen on the test bench and I just got fed up with it and I didn't care anymore. I'm pretty sure the guy I sell it to is probably going to tweak it and get it to work, but like I said, I'm fed up. So we're going to save this and we're going to make a new folder. EVGA caps lock. EVGA Kingpin 3090. That's it. That's the name. There's no special name to it. EVGA Kingpin 3090. Doesn't say hybrid on anywhere, does it? No, it's just in the BIOS. In that Precision X over there. So we're gonna make a folder called stock. And I have a few folders for this puppy. Stock, and we're gonna name this stock LN2 BIOS. Stock LN2 BIOS means 100% yes. So stock. I didn't tweak anything. And then in the next one, I'd say to overclock, but then did I overclock it with using a volt? Yeah, so we'll see. Anyway, times by. Save this, and yeah, that's pretty good. I'm actually happy. So we're really reaching the point where we're almost there. I should have done the For the Win 3 Ultra before this because I'm gonna have to unmount this and then remount the For the Win 3 Ultra, and I didn't do the 90 FE either. So I am gonna have to do those two. But I was curious about this card and how it would work, if it would work at all, because I started to panic and I was like, shit, what was the point of buying this case if it wouldn't work? There's clearance for the tubing and you can't see it. I'll show it later, but you can just barely see the OLED screen, like it's like at an angle like that. Can you see my hand? Yeah, so it's at like a crooked angle. Actually, this is a hand, crooked like that, but I can see it just enough, so it's fine. Running through a times by extreme, and I'll show the scores after this is done. Okay, so it finished up times by extreme. Score is 9,666. Graphics score is 10,506. CPU score is 6,653, and it's showing estimated performance. I'm gonna go down, show the CPU temperature. It's hard to see because they line up with each other. 48 degrees Celsius, 50 degrees, CPU 52, GPU 52, they're both really low. A lot of people kept yelling at Optimum Tech, why didn't you just, use a 240 millimeter AIO for your 5900X and just leave the 3090 Founders Edition on air in the T1? But I feel bad because, I get it now. I understand why he's like, I can never go back to a GPU on air. Yeah, now it makes sense why everybody's like, no, I don't care. It was probably a huge deal back in the day when you would get like a Founders Edition 2080 Ti and it was like a 2-slot and it was this really thin thing and the fan RPMs would be like unbearably loud. But besides the pump being loud, no, this is worlds quiet. I still wanted an ITX frame on a thing like this, so maybe people think it's ugly. I like it. It works very well. That would be the term to use would be industrial. But 89 degrees Celsius, 82 degrees Celsius, 89 degrees Celsius. This is my CPU I'm referring to. And remember, quiet. This is the lowest RPM profile. Unless I did 0 RPM mode, which is the pump is basically on quiet and then the fans are off, which is stupid on Noctua NFA12 X25 fans because 500 RPM is quieter than any fan you own from any of the other manufacturers. So it's actually stupid. It's stupid to use the quiet fan profile from Corsair on this because it's tuned for their fans, which are basically only silent at I'm speaking to the Maglo fans, the MLs, and those are silent at 600 RPM and then 900 RPM. When you go above that, you hear them. I wish I could get the performance of 600 to 900 RPM, decibel noise level wise, that the Noctuas provided, and the Noctuas provide that audio, that sound, that decibel range, but I can have like 1,000 or like 1,500 RPM level performance from the ML. It's like that level of comparable. Like the 1,000 RPMs fan speed on this fan, the Noctuas, versus the Corsair MLs. It's like this one's running at 1,000 RPM, and then that one's running at 500, and there's the same noise level. I'm good, man, because once you hop to 1,500 on this, it's 1,000 or that 900 range that I like on that one. 1,000 RPM on that fan, you're hurting your performance, you're hindering it. But this 1,500, no, this thing is performing. So, and I like the noise that these fans make. I like the sound profile. The NFA 12X15s are close, but they're not. It bothers me. It's not perfect. The only thing to make these fans perfect is make them black. But then that's pretty much it. Those will release one day, and then I'll probably get them one day. But today is not that day. Anyway, so yeah, it's CPU held 5 GHz the whole way through. None of this bouncy bounce shit Ryzen does, you know. We're pushing PBO, we're pushing it to the max. So did you put your PBO curve optimizer to -17 and -25 and negative on this core, and then this? You need to optimize the scaler properly. Oh, did you get a new 5950X? You need to tune it for each core. I know they added it for Z490 as well, and you can do that velocity boost, thermal velocity boost, TVB bullshit. There's no point. I'm gonna wait until CTR gets an update, and that will probably be out end of January, possibly February, and that will probably help maintain the same performance while auto undervolting, like so auto overclock and undervolt for people who don't know what they're doing. A one-click simple solution is great, but there are a ton of bugs, and if it was just the CPU performance and it was just going to be resolved by me getting 3200 megahertz CL14 RAM, then cool. But I spent $200 in Gen 4 risers, and then it doesn't fix the motherboard USB issues. So no. This is supposed to be a Kingpin video, but I noticed that the videos that I do, it's never just focused on one thing. It's usually an update. So it's basically like a log update series of what it is. If you think it's a review of one thing, I guess I don't know what to say. It's too hard to just focus on that and then not keep it all together. It's like, well, this is what's happening now, and then eventually if I upload it, like it's like this is what I'm focusing on. I have to save those results. This is TimeSpy Extreme. TimeSpy Extreme. Alright, now we're gonna do Port Royale. I actually like this one, so I will leave it running, and you can listen to the whole thing. I won't talk. I will turn off the heater to make sure that doesn't turn on either. Tilting the camera, make sure it's perfect. I'm not sure if that helps, but I won't talk. Alright, that test completed. So, two things. If I made too much noise by walking around the room, my bad. If the car's outside, driving by is too loud, my bad as well. That's how quiet I expect things to be in my room when I want to think, when I want to, do whatever I want to do. I would just prefer. I can't live in the city. I hate it. So, this is what it is. And while I was walking around the room, I get it now. The loudest thing on this car is probably coil whine. But I would, honest to God, I would probably prefer the two cards that I have that are actually this quiet are the 90FE and this Kingpin. That has jumped out to me at this point now. And I would prefer to have the Kingpin and not have a PS5 over a 3090FE and a PS5. Like, I really like this card that much. I was thinking about it just now. Yeah, I really do. I really do like it. PS5 is $500. Kingpin is $500 more than a 90FE. Use an EVGA associate code, man. Don't have to use mine. you can use anybody's. I don't care. The point is that for $18.99, remember this is $100 more than a Strix. We're not even gonna bring up the Gaming X Trio. I understand that it was basically a torture test with the rad fan hitting it, but was it really causing it to be that bad? Really, the fans are fighting. Maybe the turbulence noise, right? But nah, I'm not buying it. I mean, you see the temperatures and the numbers, bro. CPU and GPU are basically the same, throughout the test. Besides at the end where it becomes very CPU intensive, and I just noticed now, because remember I set game boost on for CPU and the memory, and vCore is locked at 1.35. It's static LLC1. I had no idea that, MSI sets that. So I can definitely tune it my own thing. I looked up online, people are like 10850K. You could probably get 5 GHz all cores, but the reason why you pay $100 more, Intel started their own version of Silicon Lottery. I should probably be able to do 5.2 GHz all cores. I don't know if I'm blessed like the other people that can do 5.3 or 5.4, and I'll probably need to do direct die on a 360 AIO to do that. But I would prefer that if I could just keep my life simple and then get the best temperatures I could get with just doing a copper IHSD lid. But if I am going to keep the system like this, then I might do a direct die. We'll see. But for right now, I'm just going to leave copper IHS. It's annoying to take the thing off the motherboard and then reinstall, the direct die mounting. But like I said, if I don't plan on selling this, the only thing I would sell off is the GPU. But that's if Lovelace or whatever comes out, and it's much better than this. I think people should be worried if you have one of the shittier cards when you try to sell it off. But I mean, people still buy Kingpins. Yeah, I probably take a hit, but people still buy Kingpins afterwards. People still buy Founders. The Strixes, yeah, they sell, but it's not as much as the demand of I would still prefer a Kingpin from that generation, or I would still prefer a Founders edition from that generation. So yeah, but for normal people, you won't really care. You're just like, oh well, if a 4080 costs $999. Or my bad, a 4080 costs $699, and it's 10% or 20% fast. Actually, let's give a better number. Let's say a 4080 costs $699, and it's 20% faster, 20 or 30% faster than a 3090. Yeah, I think you could say that. Yeah, it's a reasonable estimate. Will it happen? I have no idea. That's not on me. That's up to competition. But it's not like me saying a 4090 is going to be $500. That's just a retard talking. Very, very, very wishful thinking. If you have a job, you can make that $499, but no, you're not getting it from the actual MSRP. But yeah, the score is 13,603 for Port Royale. Graphics score is the same thing because it's only a graphics score. We're going to scroll down, and the GPU temperature was 47 degrees Celsius, and basically the whole test, it just ramped up to 52 degrees Celsius, so very slight. CPU peaked at 60, peaked again 58. When it drops to 49, peaks 51, drops to 49, peaks 52, drops around 46, 47, 49, peaked 65, dropped down 52, 52, 52. No, actually, my bad. I was reading the GPU temperature, 49, 50. See, they're both about the same because, the temperature is based off the coolant. Now, I was always very curious about this compared to the Loki Ghost S1 because I know that you can shove two 120mm radiators in there in a large top hat. It's hard and it's tight and it's difficult to squeeze, but it is possible. And the thing that I wanted to do, and the reason why I wanted the 120mm AIO for the CPU and GPU separately, is because when one heated up, I didn't have to worry about that coolant temperature heating up the other component. So when they're separate, if I'm putting 1,000 watts into the GPU, it's just going to be the GPU. I have no idea if I can actually do 1,000 watts on a 360 rad. I don't know. It's just an example. That's why people buy it. If you want to be a retard, put the 1,000 watt BIOS that you weren't supposed to load onto an air cooler and it can pop. I mean, if you want to be smart about it, I guess you'd put the 1,000 watt BIOS and then you would just slide the voltage slider. But I don't. My bad, not the voltage slider. I meant the power target. But I don't know if you have the ability to do that when you flash 1,000 watt BIOS. I have no idea. I've never done it before. So yeah. But right now with the 520 watt BIOS, you can see that it holds 2 gigahertz throughout the whole time. I'm not sure if you can see my finger over here, but when I was looking at the power target during that test, it did go up to 422, and it would just... The good thing about having the cards with the higher power limit, or if you shunt mod a card that, I don't know, whatever card you have, right? Try to shun mod only something that has 3 8-pins or something. Don't. People say the 2 8-pin thing is fine, but I mean, is it? So I don't know. I've never done it before, but people pulled a lot of power on the older 2080 Ti's and older cards. But anyway, when you can pull that much power, you can hold the higher like clock rate. So you can hold 2 gigahertz. So on the Founders Edition, when I do this test, it'll drop. If I load up Cyberpunk 2077, if I'm running the game at 4K, then it's gonna need more power out of it. And then if your power limit, let's say on the Strix, is 480, if you saw me loading up, I don't remember if I was recording it, but I loaded up Cyberpunk on it, and it was, I think, 462 watts, and it was like, that was all it was pulling. It did peak in Furmark, or at a point where it did pull the 480. I know it was working, but it was really only pulling like that much, and then it was dropping, and it couldn't hold, even like 2 gigahertz. I guess that was just a really shitty bin Strix, and yeah, it was, because the 90FE was doing better than that. This 90FE, the one that I have right now particularly. My cousin's Strix, it can hold, it's got better binning, If it has better binning, you can hold higher clocks at lower voltages. That's the whole reason why people pay so much money for Silicon Lottery CPUs. But I have no idea who the audience is. 50% probably already know this, and they're like, you're wasting my time. And maybe the other 50% are just like, I have no idea what this is. I've never entered this world, so I don't know. I haven't really spoke to most of these people. I don't do that like live stream stuff. But I guess just by me talking about this and being into the hobby, my friends have also learned. So they know a little bit. I have a friend who is yelling. He's like, dude, you damn benchmarkers. Like, we're chopping into a war zone with 4 people. And I have the Alt R ready. So, like, you press Alt R and it pulls up the NVIDIA's performance overlay. I don't know why it doesn't work with the Kingpin. When I click Alt R, it doesn't pull up the performance overlay. I don't know why it does that. I'm not doing anything wrong. I have the LN2 BIOS. It's just 520 watt power limit. But I don't know. It doesn't pull up whenever I have the Kingpin. It did it last time. So yeah. But we were dropping, and I was looking at the 99% FPS, and it was like, what am I getting? What's the lowest? And then what is it when we're dropping, like landing, and then just comparing it. My friends are just like, just play the game, shut up. So it was funny. But the other 3 of us, 2 of them upgraded the 10850Ks. One has a Strix 3090. The other one, he's using a 90FE right now. He's not using the Strix. He's still trying to decide which one to keep because he really likes his 90FE. He just loves it. Like, it's, the heatsink is really nice, and yeah, the Strix is supposedly better, but like he just loves the 90FE. I have another friend who really loves it, and he has to sell his 1080 Ti still. It was a blower, so it's a piece of shit, honestly. He was having issues where he had to set his 1440p 165Hz G-Sync monitor to 120Hz because he was having issues where it would cause the 4K TV that he bought. It's just 4K 60Hz, it's not like an OLED or something. And it would just cause it to like black screen and it wouldn't work. So he had to set his main monitor to 120Hz, 1440p 120Hz. And then the other monitor, like the television, would have no issues at 4K 60. I have no idea what was wrong with the card. I said I don't care, just sell it off. I don't know. But he finally got his 3090, and I don't think he has the issue anymore. I'll have to ask him. I didn't ask him for an update, or he did say yes, but I don't remember right now. But FPS wise, he's super happy with the card. I think everybody's super happy with their card, especially because you can sell your old stuff off around like the same price too, so it's pretty nice. Yeah. Now I have to save this test because this video is taking a very long time. I didn't expect it to be this long. I guess I will have to put time. Alright, benchmark, fire strike. Now we'll do a fire strike run. I will pause it and then I'll just jump back. Score is up. Alright, so the score finished up. Fire strike 31,240, and graphics score is 46,743. Physics score 28,884. And combined score is 9,284. And we're gonna scroll down. And it does look like that my score is below average. Now, I'm not sure if it's because I clicked on Discord and I'm communicating with friends or something and it's pulling it up on the side over there or something, but GPU temperature started at 47 degrees Celsius and it ended at like 50. Then the next run graphics says too started like 47 ended at like 50. And then the last one was, what is this test? Physics test is CPU. So CPU was like 70 degrees Celsius, peak 78, dropped. GPU is basically idling, it's not doing anything, so it's like 37 degrees Celsius. But yeah, CPU throughout the whole test is basically like 49, 50, 63, 64 peak, 63, like, you know, held 5 gigahertz throughout the whole way. GPU clock frequency was around 2 gigahertz, 2010, 2010, 2010, 2010, 2010. Yo, dude, it just held 2010. And then at the end, that physics test, and then combined test towards the end, it's like jumping up and down. But yeah, that's why people are build custom loops. Hold on, I didn't save that result. My bad. Save Fire Strike. That's regular Fire Strike. And we're gonna do Fire Strike Extreme. Same thing. I'm gonna run the test, pause, come back. Okay, so it finished Fire Strike Extreme, and the score is 21,898. The graphics score is 24,330. The physics score is 28,768. And the combined score is 10,389. So this one is above average this time. Not sure why the last one was a bad run, but hey, it is what it is. Same thing, CPU, GPU temperature. GPU is like 51, 51, 51. Dude, yeah, it's like 51. I'm basically repeating myself. CPU held 5 gigahertz the whole test. GPU is like 1995, 1965, held 2010, held 2010, went back to 2010. Yeah, man. Fire Strike Extreme. Now we're gonna do Fire Strike Ultra, and then I can finally load up Assassin's Creed Valhalla, see how it is with this card. So we're back. Fire Strike Ultra, 12,904. Graphics score, 12,878. Physics score, 28,886. And the combined score is 7,111. We're gonna scroll down. GPU temperature started at 51 degrees Celsius, rose to like 53 for that test, 48, 50, 52. The CPU portion, the physics test portion was 38, dropped down to 37, and then for the combined test at the end, it was 49, ramped up to 52. I mean, I don't know what to say here. The 360 AIO works, and CPU, it's like peaking, like 52C, goes up, you know, peak was 67. During the physics test, it's like 77, 74. But yeah, CPU clock frequency held 5 gigahertz the whole time. GPU began in like 1965, dropped down to like holds like 1965, 1980, 1950, 1965. Graphics test 2, it's just holding 2010, 2025 the whole time. Idling during the physics test is like 255 megahertz. And then for the combined test at the end, it's like 1980, 1995, 2010. And now I have to save this as well. Fire Strike Ultra. And now I can load up Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Dude, the main reason why I wanted the two 360 rads is just because I wanted a GPU that doesn't have to clock down. Usually it's because of heat, so I was really excited when all the coolers are so beefy this time. But I never really knew about this whole thing with power limits and all that. So, you know, I recently got into this. I mean, there's people who have been here, what are they called? People have been there for a really long time. I don't want to call them OGs. What are they called? What is the word? I don't know. Fill in the blank with the word that you would refer to for people that have been in a hobby longer than you. I really don't remember what the word is. For mountain biking or whatever. Skateboarders, like, not regulars, not casual. The non-enthusiast. I really don't remember. Now I'm going to go to graphic settings, 1080p, native, 360 Hz, native, resolution scale, 200%, so it's 4K. Graphics score, my bad, graphics quality, it's getting to me. Ultra high, it's the max, there's nothing you can do higher. And VRAM says 6.6 gigs. If it's actually 4K doing 200% resolution scale, it would be even higher. Now I don't have the rivet tuner set up, so where you can see video RAM allocation and actually being utilized, but it is what it is. Now we're gonna do benchmark, and I'll run it without the speakers, so I'm just gonna turn the audio off so you can hear just the card. Most of the noise you're hearing is just coil whine. Alright, so I don't remember what the 0.1% low from yesterday was and the 1% low, but if I had to say what's different, I have IQ open, I have hardware info open, I have Precision X open, I have Discord open on the side, and they're all running, so I don't know if that's impeding any of the performance numbers at stock, but same thing, 10900K, GPU, Kingpin 90, display, ROG, PG259QN, Windows 10 Enterprise, drivers 460.89, and you can see the average frame rate 64, minimum 37, max is 136. I'm pretty sure I got more with the Strix. So maybe I could do another run, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I could do one more run, but you see that is special treatment. I will do one, but I won't record it. I'll only show the number. The numbers are actually lower. So I am looking on the side on Discord, and I'm seeing like my friends messaging me. I'm messaging on my laptop right now, and that actually could be making the 1% low go lower. So maybe, dude, I don't know. Maybe I'm just making excuses because I like the card. But if I raise the power limit, obviously it would. But yeah, I'm pretty happy. Yeah, I'm honestly happy. I guess I'll run like some overclock. I don't know how much is the max. Remember, I'm doing this on a SFX 750 watt power supply, okay, and a 10900K overclocked, alright. And it's not even like on like adaptive LLC. So if I look at the max power that my 10900K is pulled, it says 226.892 watts. So it'd be 227. We can round it to 227. 1 sec. Power supplies are rated to do. It can do 750. You know, with the efficiency, probably be pulling more from the wall. The thermostat and the what's that thing I ordered? The voltmeter, whatever, that watt meter, that didn't come in yet. 750 minus what I say, 267. So that gives me, oof, Joe, dude, that gives me 480 watts to work with for my GPU. Come on, Corsair, release that 850 watt power supply, man. I'm trying to push it to the limit. Now let's see if I have minus 520 watts from that. I have 37 watts. I go over by 37 watts. So I need, if I got an 850, I could do, let's if I do 530 watts, 667 watts, the pump probably takes power for the AIO. I don't have any SSDs. The fans probably draw power too. So yeah, really all max I can push it is like 480 watts, and I'm like really pushing it. But the thing is, you're not doing like a stress test for your CPU and your GPU at the same time. But you could be. But if I'm playing games, I could get away with this. And this is for science. So we're gonna just try raising the power limit, and I'm gonna leave what's it called, running Assassin's Creed. So shit, I have to do the math. If I do 121%, I think that would be the 520. Now I have to do math. Oh my god. Alright, so if you have, hold on. 350 times 1.21, 121% would be, that's not 520. What is the stock power? 121% power would be 520 watts on the LM2 BIOS. So divided by 0.21. Oh my god, I'm doing percentages so wrong. Alright, look, we're 114. Oh my god, dude. Alright, look, 120 is max, 118. I forgot what the if I hooked up the 4 to win 3 Ultra before this, I would remember what the max power target is on that. Yeah, I know you can do 114 on a Founders. But this is a Kingpin. Alright, we're gonna do 115. And then I'll see what's the max that it pulls. If it turns off, it turns off. What can I do? Too lazy to do the math. I want to go back to my laptop. Alright, let's see. Number. As you can see, 4K scale with power target being raised. And I was not paying attention to how high it went. Maybe somebody can inform me why when I hook up the Kingpin, hardware info can't pull the info on it. Besides PCIe link speed, I guess memory being used, and okay. It says GPU D3D memory. GPU D3D memory again, and then it says GPU D3D usage, and then GPU temperature for like the die. But oh man, I forgot, it tells you how much power is being pulled on the OLED screen on the Kingpin. I should have just done that. Alright, dude, we're gonna just do 121. If it turns off, it turns off. Alright, let's do it. Push it to the limit. I mean, I'm only pulling like 90 watts from my CPU anyway when I'm playing, you know, a game. It's Intel and I'm playing Assassin's Creed. It's not gonna pull 200 watts. So if it turns off, it turns off, man. I think it'll be fun. We'll see. It is recording, right? Yeah, we are recording. Yeah, I know. what people say, 1080p shit, all that. Yeah, man. Yeah, I love this monitor. I wasn't gonna keep it. All right, we're gonna run the benchmark. 441 watts, right? I am looking at Precision X and I'm looking at the King. I mean, if I just look at the power target right there, it'll tell me to. But I'm looking at both. I am aware this time. I am vigilant. This is stock, just power limit raised. Update if you're wondering, it's just hovering around 330 watts, 326, 338, 330. It's not doing anything. If you guys don't mind, I'll probably launch Cyberpunk up. I don't know if you can do screen resolution scaling as screen resolution scaling yet. In Cyberpunk, I'm probably gonna have to use DSR, and I forgot what DSR disables. It disables something. But yeah, man, I mean that was the actual game running a benchmark, dude. It was only 49 degrees Celsius, man. And the airflow. Let me just put my laptop over here so it's not getting in the way of your visual viewing experience. So yeah, when it's pulling in air from the CPU side, pulling it in and blowing onto the GPU like this, and then the GPU air is blowing onto this too. And obviously they'll hit each other, but it's gonna bounce off this. Like the GPU is pulling air this way, and it's blasting air down, launching it this way. Heat coming off the GPU in like every direction. It's only a single fan here, but it really does. Like I feel air coming off here. I feel air coming off here. Like, and there is air coming out of the top of the GPU up here. This is the hottest part of the case right here. This rad is fine to touch. This rad. So yeah, it's colder down here. It's cool how like the rads are like just right, like not touching the ground. If that's visible. Like look, that's my pinky. I came from my pinky underneath that. When I grab one of these like super thin screwdriver things that it came with, look, barely goes underneath. See that? That's so cool. I love this case, man. I'm pretty sure some of you guys will too. Those hardcore overclock dudes, bro. An ITX motherboard. If you want to do it with Ryzen, you're gonna have to get a Gen 4 Ryzen, and they have issues. And you know, if you're chasing numbers, and if you have something that's a shitty tool apart, you know, I can't recommend that. But I am not gonna rotate this right now because I do have it hooked up. But yeah, I mean, here's my mega space heater. But I'm just trying to feel the airflow on the other side where the motherboard and everything is. I just want to feel it. How hot are the motherboard VRMs? Wow, that's pretty good. And I'll touch the M.2 heatsink. Should be like over here somewhere. What am I touching? Yeah, I'm touching the M.2 heatsink. It's hot. It's hot. I didn't burn myself, but it's hot. You know, this radiator. The hottest point is the top over here. This one. The Intel one's really cool, but obviously I'm running a game right now, and this radiator right here, the one I keep touching like it's nothing, is right now, the GPU holds 2010, you know, perfectly fine, like easy, dude. It's a Kingpin, and right now it's dissipating about 360 watts of heat. Well, I mean, I should say look, dude, the GPU is, you know, consuming like 360 watts. The rad is moving that much heat off the rad. You know, so yeah, okay, so I should clarify, it's not 360 just on the rad, you know, it's also being helped by this fan here, you know, it's helping something. This is just a GPU die, this is helping the motherboard VRMs, the copper heatsinks are pretty dope. Yeah, if anybody remembers the NVMe heatsinks on my test bench, it's basically the same thing. Even the T1 or the Ghost S1, when I had my NVMe on the back, right? I don't know if I recorded it back then. No, I didn't do this a year ago. So I got that thin copper heatsink that I put on the NVMe that goes on the back of the motherboard. My temperatures, I don't remember if this game is running off the NVMe on the back, but the temperatures are the first NVMe drive on the front is 60 degrees Celsius right now, 57 degrees Celsius for the controller. That's beautiful. And the highest it hit was 62 degrees Celsius and 59. The second SSD, the second NVMe drive I should say, is 65 for the NAND and 71 for the controller. 72 now. Okay, so it's definitely the NVMe on the back that's running this game that I have it installed on. Yeah, that makes sense now. And the highest it peaked at was 70C for the NAND and then 79C for the controller. But the average is 64 and 67. And then the average for the NVMe on the front of the motherboard is 58 degrees Celsius for the NAND and 54 for the controller. So I'm happy with that. That's the one Windows is running off of. The one on the back is still, you know, it's still peaking like 70C, 79C. Obviously, if I load up like Crystal Disk Benchmark or whatever, but the thing is I still wanted the fans to blow onto it, because in the T1 I had, remember that fan blowing on the heatsink and the motherboard VRMs? It's like right there, that 92mm fan, because on the B550 AIOs Pro ITX motherboard, the NVMe and the motherboard VRMs are linked by a heat pipe. On this one, I think it is as well, and there is a fan for the motherboard VRM, and it is blowing air, but I have it on the silent profile. So, but if you have it on performance, like, you can hear it. I thought there was something wrong with my case or something, or my computer, because that small fan, people always say it's so tinny or whatever. I thought that was just really bad coil wind. That's how tinny it was. I didn't even know it was a fan. It's just like, I just thought it was atrocious coil wind. It's pretty funny, actually. But yeah, I guess I'll try like an overclock on this, or a little bit. Actually, I don't want to. I want to launch Cyberpunk, but I'm gonna set DSR. Give me 2 seconds. Video is getting long. Alright, my bad, guys. I said I was gonna get off game, but I haven't played with a stable computer in God knows how long, and I can't tell you how happy I am. Yeah, I just wanted it to hit 2.1 gigahertz, you know? It's a max power target 121. I didn't even touch the voltage, and it's plus 90 on the core clock, and I'm holding 2115, you know, 2.1 gigahertz. And I overclocked my memory to 1250. So I'm running the game right now at 11,000 megahertz for my memory. This is the only card I've ever been able to push it that high. Yeah, man. I'm actually pretty happy with this, dude. That's, how do you dismount? See? Dude, it's holding 21 gigabits per second. Like, this is the real, you know? Now, people are probably gonna be like, oh, dude, you can't feel the difference, you know, of 2 gigahertz locked and 2.1, but right now, like, when I put it and I didn't touch the memory, yeah, dude, I felt it. I am playing 1080p, you know, highest settings, but resolution scale set to 200, so there is really rendering 4K, a 4K image on a 1080p screen, but completely maxed out. But dude, this is nice, man. I would obviously want to play this on my OLED, but like, dude, it's, nah, man. I can't believe I kept complaining all the time about, oh, 5 gigahertz, you know, you want to feel 5.1 gigahertz all core lock, and I didn't do the same thing for the GPU, dude. Wow. I am gonna have to take this off, and I have to do the video with the For the Win 3 Ultra, and I have to do it with the what is that other card, the Red Devil, whatever, limited edition. I do want to see how the raster performance is on those AMD cards, but man, dude, this is it. This is the pinnacle right here. I'm gonna be honest with you, on full load, I think it's still quieter than the PS5. It's about like the same noise. And that was on my desk right there. You saw I was playing on my TV. I think I recorded that. Yeah, I should have. Yeah, dude. I really like this, man. It works great. I am going to close this now. Let's see if it gives me any issues. I don't know if it's gonna crash if I load up like a time spy or something, but I do want to load up Cyberpunk, man. I haven't loaded that up in forever. If it crashes, it crashes. I don't know what to say. Oh, I didn't set DSR. Ooh, my bad. I would load it up on my 4K TV. So you guys can't see it there, right? I will run it for myself. Alright, put on the wide angle lens, because this is probably the only way I can get it all on one screen. The TV, the case, and the radiators. It's the only way I can get that all fit. I know that monitor is in way of that. I don't really care. It's not like a permanent, like this is how I always do it. It's just a test. Lights are off, so, you know, OLED black. But I have the memory overclock 1250. GPU core is plus 90. Max power target for LM2. This is perfectly, this is what some normal person could do if you're not buying this for, you know, super hardcore overclock. But look at me. I'm running around. I got hit by a car. I do not intend to do that. But you can see the power target. If you can, I'll read it to you. It's like 450, 441. But I'm running around, and I'm holding 2150 while running around. I'm holding it, dude. I'm holding 2150. And my memory is holding 1102 megahertz. That means I'm getting 21 gigabits per second memory module speed, dude. I'm getting it. My memory, okay, so my MEM2 is 70 degrees Celsius. My MEM3 is 57. MEM1 is 70 degrees Celsius as well. Dude, it probably, I couldn't run it probably because the memory was too hot. Maybe it was that. I don't know. But I didn't touch the voltage slider. I haven't done any of that EVGA classified shit, man. And it feels good. Hold on, let me show you the settings. I'm running the same settings on the same area I was before. Graphic settings, field of view 90. That's higher than what other people run. Motion blur is on low. I just, whatever, screw it, I left it on. 16, everything's high, ultra. Ray tracing is on. And then set to medium. And then DLS is to set to balance. I can set it to performance, but... Oh, that was a nice glitch. That car went through that car. Look at these people in their car. I can't take the car because I'm level 5 out of 8. But that girl looks exactly like that girl. And I'm not even being racist. That's the same NPC. They have the same cross necklace. They could be twin sisters. Hold up 1 second. This one has the same cross too. But it's is this a cult? I'm just gonna ride on their car. What are they gonna do? Watch this. This is the greatest bug in Cyberpunk. When you turn around, NPCs change. I'm gonna turn around. I'm gonna turn around. I'm gonna turn around. And I'm gonna turn around. Is that chick still running? Wow. The same NPC stayed there. Must have been a patch. No, I'm just joking. Yeah. I'm honestly, if this can work in like every game, to me that's I'm happy. Dude, I didn't have to build a custom loop or do anything. I didn't have to shunt mod anything. Look, we're holding 2.2150, 2.1 gigahertz essentially, 2.115. I sound retarded when I say that. Look, man, 2.1. I didn't expect it to boost a little higher because the temps were good. But yeah, I'm really happy with that memory overclock. I actually am really happy with that. But yeah, this is Cyberpunk with 4K. Let me see what happens when I put their... Oh! The game finally gave me the mission.
That's one way to put it. Two ways to say it. Well, we managed to save your, Yeah, much as they could. At least the pain is gone. Anyway, once it heals, I'll get a better model. Something top shelf. Just, check the warranty, Nick. Will do. Take care, man.
Yeah, so that was the guy with the broken dick. And, I was driving around for a long time. Finally, it actually, gave me the phone call. Dude, I can finally just play games on a working computer and it's stable. I'm walking around holding 2115, bro. This is gonna be a great year. Wow, look at that. Just smooth. Yeah, I'm happy. The reason why I want to binge this, even though it's kind of broken, is because I can finish the story and then I can't be spoiled anymore. Real quick. Oh wait, I forgot everything is in frame. So if you look at the GPU, if you look at the GPU, it has the EVGA Kingpin lit up in white, and the power button lights up white. So that's cool. I hope the case manufacturer, the dude who I ordered the case from, likes it. I mounted like all the cards I have. I'm only halfway there. I only mounted like 3 cards. I still have 2 others. Shit, I have 3 others that I have to mount. So I'll mount those. But yeah, man, I love this card. I love the Kingpin. Man, dude, like it's totally not worth paying like, I paid $20.68 I think because I bought 1 day shipping. But if you didn't. And maybe you live in Delaware, man. I don't know where you live. But it might be cheaper on tax. Shipping, I think they still charge you like $25 or $27 for ground shipping. And then $52 for 2 day. And then $64 or something like that for 1 day. We're just going to look over there. I don't like looking at these disgusting AI people. Oh, they got some booty over there. Alright. Burrito. I'm not too familiar with... I can actually buy things from this? Oh, my bad, I jumped and climbed. How do you... No, it's I know how to do it on mouse click, it's not doing it on a controller. I usually never use the controller for this stuff. See, mouse click did it immediately. Press Y to eat. What did it do? Did it give me health? I guess it maxes out your health. There's a plus and a timer next to my name now. When you are sky high, dangerously high voltage. What is this stuff? The moon cheese, Sour Planet, Pulsar, original. Just candy. That's cool. And this is the booty stuff. You are sky high. look at it, it actually says wait. You can actually have fun playing a game, you know, when you're not tweaking all these settings. This is nice. I only wanted this OLED for G-Sync, man. There is a sort of like a chug, you see that? Chug. 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 I don't know why it does, I'll have to load up Rivatuner or something to figure out why. Anyway, we'll wrap this up. I am happy with this. I could probably do like, I'll just do an here, let me turn this off. Alright, now, to wrap this up, same thing. You know, camera's been 28 inches from the PC this whole time. I'm going to move this over here. Is this visible? Hopefully it is, whatever. And I am going to wrap this up. I'm going to do a time spy run, see if it crashes with those settings. Plus 1250 for memory, plus 90 for core. Fans are on auto, and GPU power target is maxed out on the LM2 BIOS stock. I obviously didn't flash the 1000-watt BIOS. So yeah, I should have been checking what the CPU power draw was during those games, but it's really only COD, like Modern Warfare, that's going to be spiking up to like actually using 200 watts when it's installing those shaders at the menu. But otherwise, no, this is fine. I mean, for me to be safe within that headroom and have that headroom with the 520-watt BIOS maxed out and the CPU and have that cushion, I should have the 850, but I mean, I'm still waiting on Corsair to make it. As you can see, it basically held 2.1 gigahertz that whole test, and the memory out of 11,000, yeah. And the score is 14,433, yeah. Now, yeah, I'm definitely happy. Hold on, let's save this. Folder, overclock, LN2, BIOS. Now I'm gonna just mention 520 watt, which is labeled out there, 520 watt, and then inside there, this was Port Royale, and what did I have again? Plus 90 core, plus 1250 mem, plus 121 power, target power, and auto fans 0% voltage, plus 0 voltage. Let's just move auto fans to the end so it's cleaner. Yeah, I'm really happy with this. I'm actually going to save this profile. Let's save that as 9 so I remember. Save. I'm actually really happy with that. Yeah, we're going to wrap this up. We're done here. Okay? I'll play around with the overclock settings. There's no point wasting more time and keep talking. Long story short, I'll probably do a better video of just a case or something. But I am really happy with this. I am actually very happy with this end result. Yeah, I'm actually very happy, yes. Thank you. Thank you for watching. I do hope you gathered some information from this. If not, then I hope you at least enjoyed it. If not, then I don't know what to say. But thanks for watching, alright? Peace.